Welcome. Hello. Thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in with Enchanting Babble on our revolutionary rise of high that is happening here at this moment in time. Welcome. Get comfortable because this is going to be a long one. Welcome to I've been doing a lot of Pluto style stuff, readings and stuff like that. Pluto's been calling me. I don't know, maybe because it's part of my planetary systems. Maybe some of you have strong Scorpio in your placements, but it doesn't matter whether you do or not. Maybe those of you tapped in, turned on, tuned in with me. Anyways, you have strong death and rebirth fucking placements, like regardless of what your signs are. So it doesn't matter, right? Either way, thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in. I hope that you have subscribed to my new YouTube channel, right? At Mystic Muse Vlog. All that information will be in the description box. There are several vlogs already shared. There's just so many vlogs already created. I'm pacing myself as I share them and do my edits and stuff like that for them, my fun edits and things like that, and putting it all together. This is a new journey for me that I'm very excited about. I'm being intentional and purposeful with a certain kind of direction here on my YouTube channel. And so that's why I created a second YouTube channel for this specifically, because it's different than here, where it's a wild card, where it's whimsical, where there are no rules here. There are no rules over there either and stuff, but over here is, the free play. Over there it's just vlogging. Okay, and so I am sharing all the vlogs in the order in that which they are created, except for at a time, I don't know what vlog number it's going to be, but it's going to indicate it, right, where I say this was supposed to be vlog number, let's say, like, I think it's like 14 or something like that, but it's being bumped up to vlog number blah, 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 whatever that number be. You'll understand why when that occurs, so that you can see. Right now I have this time slot of recording that's kind of like fate for me to do so and come, so that's good. Right, so welcome. So this is going to be our Pluto retrograde, right? Because Pluto is retrograding now. Pluto is retrograding in the planet of Capricorn. Definitely check out my Pluto in Aquarius powerful video, right? And other Plutos. I'll put it in the community board. And other Plutos. I don't be remembering the names of the videos that I put and stuff like that. But either way, yeah, it's time. So we're gonna talk about Pluto retrograding now. And this wonderful opportunity. Everything is an opportunity. That's how I like to view things. I don't like to look at, I'm a solutionist, revolutionist, right? And what that means is that I look for solutions in everything. I don't like to complain. I don't like to keep on drudging up the same old thing over and over and over and over again. It's like, that's the definition of insanity, right? Doing something over and over again the same exact way, expecting a different result, like, dude, not gonna happen, right? So I'm a solutionist and stuff like that. So definitely, hold on one second. Either way, I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in with me. What Pluto retrograde in 2023 will mean for you. It's an awakening. Before I even get there, let's just light the candle, right? We are divinely lit, guided, and protected, right? And with divine clarity, alchemy, and alignment, truth speaks free. So motivate. Right. Motivate. Right, definitely check out my Venus and Leo video. Watch all my videos. Especially even the long ones. If you have to watch them in parts, make sure to watch it all though, even if it's in parts. You know, you can listen to it while showering, you can listen to it while on the toilet, you can listen to it while driving, you can listen to it you know, when you're cleaning or whatever, cooking or whatever the case may be. You can find the time to listen to them. You don't have to. I'm not on camera and stuff like that. Like, you know, there's nothing to see unless you want to see, which is great. This is what all the visuals are for and things like that. But in all honesty, you could even slow down the speed in that which I speak on these videos. So if I'm speaking too fast, you can slow it down to your tempo and speed and, you know, receive. You know what I mean? Sometimes people are like, oh, you speak so fast. Good thing for technology, right? Good thing for technology. Good thing for technology. Right, so welcome. Right, I also did a Venus and Leo video. Also check out the Venus and Leo in all signs as well. And look forward to the new moon in Gemini also. Right, so what is Pluto in retrograde? Pluto retrograding mean, right? So it can feel like, right? I know that everybody always talks about like Mercury retrograde and all this kind of stuff, but this is just important. All the planets are just as important if they have relevance to our humanity and our soul's journey, right? So it's like literally like kind of like taking a step back, right? Picking apart the pieces, right? And making a mess with it, right? For out of chaos exists order. I don't know where I was going with that, right? But it's about putting things back together differently, right? So you know, I know that a lot of people talk about Mercury retrograding, right, and things like that, but the Pluto is fucking impactful. Pluto is influential. Pluto is deserving of attention. I do a lot of videos. Definitely check out all my Pluto. You can just search Enchantress the Babbler and then type in Pluto next to it, Pluto retrograde, because there's plenty of Pluto. I've been following. Pluto has been speaking to me for a while. I think I hear Pluto's voice. Right, so Pluto's gonna be retrograding from okay, I don't know exactly when it started, but it started. I did send. Where did I write it? Um, um, oh, it was in one of my video edit thingies, the dates. And so I have a photo. Right, because Pluto's in Aquarius, granted, right? But Pluto's retrograding is going backwards, like so to speak, right? So the sign before Aquarius is Capricorn. So I just want you to understand that. So from here, all I'm doing is covering. Okay, right. So Pluto in Aquarius is March 23rd to June 11th. So that's what it is, right? So March 23rd to June 11th. So from June 11th until October 11th, right? Although there's no such thing as dates and things like that. I know I speak about this, but it's just for the human, the human philosophy of blinded to pain. Okay, but anyways, don't be blinded to pain. But either way, right? So until October 11th, Pluto will be retrograding in the sign of Cancer, right? So Pluto's referred to. We're keeping it. You saw that I was shuffling. I think I was here, I was doing all of this and stuff like that, and then those cards still want to come out, right? So blinded to pain, right? So right, because we're going backwards, mess. We're going back. We're going back. We're gonna make a mess of things so that you can see things. It's like taking out your photo album, right? And looking at all your pictures and you're putting a timeline of life together, right? So when you first take out all the photos, right, you're gonna have all the photos thrown everywhere, right? All everywhere. So it's like a big mess, but there's an abstract thought happening here, right? So Pluto's referred to as like an outer planet, right? In astrology, right? So because it's on the outside of the astral belt as opposed to the inner planets like Mercury, Earth, Venus, like, you know, Mars and all these kind of stuff, they exist within the astral belt. So that's just talk, right? So that's just for you to understand, right, that kind of depiction of why Pluto is considered to be like the outsider, right? Actually, I'm gonna write that down. Right? So Pluto as the outsider looking in. Looking, right? Right. So Pluto as the outsider looking in and stuff like that, right? So the outer planets, this is why Pluto in Aquarius is lasting as long as it is, the 20 something years. I don't know exactly, like, don't quote me specific, like, oh my god, no bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. You see, it's not, it's actually, I say, like, let's say I say 21 years and you'd be like, actually it's 22, it's 22. You see, you don't know what you're talking about. You can leave. Leave, right? So right. So anyways, don't quote me on specifics like that. It's the general landscape here, right? This is the blueprint of the general landscaping happening here, right? So the outer planets are much slower in, look at this masquerade. I want to keep that too, right? Much slower emotion, right? And this represents like years of our lives, right? I'm sorry, I'm rubbing my eye now. Right? So when we connect with these movements in the outer planets meditation, right? Nefti 10. Your life path number 1 here, 2, could be life path number 6, you could be life path number 4, 6, 7, 8, you could be life path number 8. Right, let's see how. Sorry, I'm gonna be shifty when I'm sitting like this, right? So right, so just in slower motion. So it's like just thinking, I'm just trying to like simplify the thought process here, enlightening, right? I'm just trying to, yeah, thank you, Spirit. Right. So when we connect with the movements of the outer planets, right, which also include, right, like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, right? We connect, right, with larger chapters of our entire experience. So it's like that photo collage, right? That photo, like just the right. So timeline with photos. I don't want to lose that analogy, right? Timelines like with photos. So when these planets move, when these things move, when we feel this shift, this paradigm shift, definitely check out my vlog, right? It gets more personal. I know the first couple of vlogs, I don't know if it's like 1 to 3 or whatever, or before, it might be more superficial and just cutesy fun and all this kind of stuff, but it gets deeper, right? It gets really up close and personal. It gets real, really real, right? So because we're traveling these outer layers into these inner layers, right? So when they move, when these things move, right, there's like this gravitational pull, this shift, this flow, this movement, this pulse, this beat, right? Right? If you ever hear the sounds of the universe in deep meditation, you know how like, so like it's like tapping into the earth sound, the planet's sound, the harmony sound, right? What does that sound like? It sounds like a music. I speak about this and the music that I be hearing, and then I drove everybody crazy because I was looking for it. Nobody heard what I was hearing, right? But that could be you too, because you know how you have those pitches in your ear, right? And things like that, right? That's a the high pitch frequency. That's a high pitched sound. It's a pulse. It's connecting you to all that there is that's greater than, right? So this shift that occurs, like when I move, you move, just like that. When I move, you move, just like that. When I move, you move, just like that. It's like that, right? Ludicrous, right? I know it sounds a little ludicrous, but it is, right? But this is deep. This is deep, right? So when these, right? So in this deepness of these connections with these chapters, when they move, when I move like that, just like that, when I move, you move, right? There's a transition, right? And it represents this entire new beginning, this new era, this new development, this newness, this amazingness. And then think about it too, like, so you got Pluto retrograding in Capricorn and all this kind of stuff, this newness, this going back, taking a step back, literally, right? To reflect, to introspect, to reassess, to reevaluate, right? That's where retro, right? We're looking at things, we're giving it a backward spin, right? Through the underworld, though. Through the underworld. And it deserves a lot of, as within exudes on out. Out of the abundance of the mouth, the hearts, out of the abundance of, put it backwards. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? So it's an invitation to come into communion, right? To have this, like, for those of you that have ever been raised Catholic, right? Catholicism, I right? Even though I was allowed to travel different church denominations, my father was open to that, but I had to, I had to, um, I had to complete my Catholicism. Like, even though they allowed me to go venture out there and go check out different denominations of religion, and I did, I visited so many different denominations. I studied religion. I had so many different variations of the Bible, has so many different kind of beliefs, because I was on my own personal quest, right? But I had to commit, right? So in Catholicism, you have all these different um degrees of communion, so to speak, right? You have that, the baptism, you have Holy Communion, you have confirmation, right? So this is like that, right? You're going into communion with parts of yourself, right? That maybe you haven't yet to accept or see, right? So it's about that reclaiming every aspect, light and dark, of who you are, we are, right? Reclaiming every aspect of you. I love that, right? So you're reclaiming every aspect of you, right? So 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 right now, right, with Pluto being in Capricorn, right? It's retracing. It's retracing its steps into Aquarius until I think until 2024, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Right, but it's going to continue this forward, backward motion a few more times, even until it settles in Aquarius, and then remains there through until 2043. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is wow. So 2043 equates to 9, and 9 is all about completing cycles, right? 9 is all about a completion of something, bringing something into full circle so that you can have that 10, that new beginning. Wow. So it's going to keep traveling back. So it's going to keep retrograding. So those dates that I gave and stuff like that, did I give all of them? Right? January. So Pluto's in Aquarius, March 23rd, 2023 till June 11th, 2023. Then it is again till January. So maybe so wait, I said October. I don't know. I gotta just check the dates of the retrograde in Capricorn, but it doesn't matter the dates because I said what I said. Pluto retrograding in Capricorn now, and if you're here now, it doesn't matter. And if you come later and this is not taking place, this is about your rebirth. This is about your discovery. This is about you traveling into your underworld of truth and bringing out aspects into yourself in wholeness, fullness, and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be astrological, so don't get it twisted. That's just my colorfulness of expression and whimsical nature that finds expression in these kind of ways that interest me. And so it's more metaphorical, it's more an analogy, it's more of whatever it is that it's going to be for you, but it's just talk. You understand? It's the human communication, the tool that we have to communicate with one another. But this is deep, this is profound, this is soul, this is soul molecular, cellular molecular. This is revolutionary, evolutionary. This is soul talk. Right? So either way, it's retrograding now, it's going to retrograde again, it's going to retrograde again until it finally stays fully without going backward. So it's going to retrograde 3 times. And if I got this number wrong, I got this number wrong, but just think about the power of 369, right? 369 and the power, the buildup, I did I blog about that? That was years ago. But either way, there's really power in the combination of 369 and seeing it together, right? Because there's mastery in the 369, right? There's mastery in the 369 because you got 1, 2, practice, 3, master, right? Then 4, 5, practice, and then 6, master, right? And then 7, 8, practice, and then 9, master. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? So it's that buildup of that, right? It's that buildup of that mastery, that self-mastery, right? In 369s, right? So either way, right? So it's gonna do this because it's doing this literally so that you could pick apart the pieces that, right? So it's like putting in the practice. So it's like retrograde 1, 2, practice. Now you learned a lot, right? 3, master. Then mastering that practice, 1, 2, you learned a lot, right? Now new mastery, and then new mastery, and then it's going to be all the way up until 2043, which is that 9 again, which is that 9, which is all about completion, right? Mastery and your completion of finally putting together differently, of course, that which took you time to do, right? So it's going to do that. It's going to be do the cha-cha, right? Do the cha-cha, right? 2 steps forward, 1 step. Wait, what's the cha-cha? The steps, but we will continue this forward backward motion, forward back forward. So oh, this was like in yoga with the weights and stuff like that, when we were doing the punching um and the kicks, right? So it's like, moving forward, kick, backwards, kick, forward, kick, backwards, kick, right? With the weights, but the squat and all this kind of stuff, or with with the punch, right? So it was like, or the uppercut, right? So it's like um step, step, um this is what, anyways, it's just a rhythm. It's a rhythm. It's like, it's a rhythm, right? So yeah, so yes, it's gonna be complex. Yes, it can be mysterious. Yeah, because Pluto is what? What? Ruler of the underworld. A deep dive into soul molecular upgrades, um, major transformation, right? And the rebuilding of you, right? So yeah, so right, so blinded to pain, right? I'm gonna see with this one because blinded to pain masquerade, right? So as you are going back, right, into your rhythm and beats, right, as you can as you figure this out, wait, hold on, let me page this. Right, so I'm looking at this, right, from here, this perspective. I can shoulder it and it's not a big deal, isn't it? And it's like blinded to pain, right? It's like, just because you can. So right, for me, like, in terms, when I think of this and stuff like that, and my own resonance with this, with the blinded to pain, is that just because, a lot of, right, so for many of you that are tapped and turned on, tuned in, you might have a high tolerance to certain kind of, based off your conditioning, right, to pain and suffering. And you might have a big heart of forgiveness. And this has maybe been your superpower, but it has also been your crutch, right? It has also been your dagger. It has also been your, wow, like, did I not learn the last time, right? And so one of the things, like, you become like this martyr, right? This like this this martyr, right? Carving oneself for every stroke of a whip and feeling so broken that it makes no difference to be whole, right? Flies, pinned, not pinned, but ordered as bees, feeding of the neatly arranged blood, a woman's chest carved by a blade in a diamond pattern, full lips, the color of blood, a blindfold on whom the last fly lingers. Fly for me is spy. So you can have people watching too, right? Or people that have always watched you, right? Because you're fascinating. For those of you tapped in, turned on, tuned in here, you're fucking fascinating. You are alluring. You are mesmerizing. And you have always been the center of every show. Wherever you show up, that's where you be, right? And you are that. You are the main character. You are the god, the goddess divine, right? Just like, and so there's always been something quite wow about you, right? Right? Your energy speaks measures, right? You are powerful. And in these states of being, right, you may have endured quite a lot, and you have suffered quite a lot. And in that enduring and in that suffering, you may have healed quite a lot, right? Because this is a healing journey. And like, I used to act like what people said didn't faze me. That's what I think about when I think about blinded to pain. I used to think about how people would treat me, knowing how I picked up the truth intuitively, and they would still choose to treat me a certain type of way. I still deal with this here, and especially even now on social media. See what crew that be sticking together wants to hang with me? Nobody. They hear what I say. They watch, but they act like they don't, right? And it's like, because you're that different, and because you're that different, it can be intimidating, right? People can feel like they don't want to. People that don't want to be seen will snub you, and you might have personalized that too and stuff like that. But either way, going back to this, right? Like, it's just like beatings, right? I used to take a beating, and I could take a beating. Does that mean I should? I'll take the beating for everybody in the fucking room, just so that they won't have to be beat. Does that mean that I should? Just because I can. And so these are kind of like the questions you're gonna have to ask yourself, right? Especially during this retrograding time of putting back the pieces differently, right? Pluto's named after the Roman god of the underworld, right? And it's like sitting at the edge of our known solar system, right? And it has such a profound effect on us. Pluto, right? Like, so like Mercury, right? Like Mercury retrograding. It's more like linear, like in thought and concept, right? It's like that sword energy, that mental energy, that air energy, right? Which represents like thought and like the logical mind, on and plus more, right? Pluto, right? Underworld, right? It cannot be grasped by the mind. For it is the process of major transformation, death, rebirth, right? So it's death, rebirth, transformation, power, our unconscious mind. Pluto represents what's unseen, the mystery to that, the mystery of awe, everything that's hidden. So whatever aspects of self and humanity that's hidden too. Pluto is what is deep within ourselves that we have yet to journey. It is our shadow. It is our darkness. It is our vulnerabilities. So as with any retrograde, the key words here would be like reassess, review, revise, reconsider, realign, revisit, recalibrate, rejuvenate. So when you think about taking a step back and then taking a step forward and taking a step back and then taking a step forward, right? Like that seesaw effect, right? Like whatever. It's the perception that should be seen is that one step backward to allow for the infinite steps forward. Right? And I like that meditation came up here, right? Because that's 10, right? It's new beginning, right? Because there's a sacred pause that is inviting us to look around, review, reconsider, revise, realign, revisit, so that we may integrate these lived experiences by considering these past journeys that we are leaving behind, bringing closure to what is needing closure, and to arrive in our present space centered, aligned, alchemized before continuing to move forward. Right? And that's the power of retrogrades, right? They're here to remind us of these facts, that no matter how hard we try, life is not linear. Our journey is cyclical, like the Ouroboros, right? We move up and down, right? We move up and down. Side to side. Okay, I just like can't get silly, right? So we move up and down, but we're moving in every direction as much as possible, right? So it's just like, so this is external from us, right? The landscapes of these things. Stay over there, baby. I love you. Stay over there, okay? Hi. Hi, little girl. Hi, little girl. Okay, right? Our inner world is no different from the outer world as within exudes on out, especially in under this influence, right? So we're gonna go dark, right, with this card. T.S. Eliot said, "A fly that lives a single day has lived as long as we. Yet we accept the passage of time like it didn't matter, like we don't matter. Every day, a single line is added to the pattern. A single fly is added to the wall. We take one more responsibility. We take a little more abuse. We shoulder a little more pain. We smile in front of a little more insolence. We close our eyes to our wounds. We think we can endure it. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. We say to ourselves, like men, because it's manly to endure and be strong, like women, because it's feminine to endure and be strong, like humans, because the care and gentleness we feel is precious to others and we don't dare to actually claim it for ourselves. After all, we can do it, but it actually hurts. It's painful. Tears are better than feeding flies with our own blood. We can scream and say no, or endure, nevertheless. But remembering that we are just human, neither heroes nor saints. And I love that, right? Because it's like regrouping. Definitely check out my new vlog at Mystic Muse Vlog. We're going deep in this kind of psyche too. Like I'm just in a different space and place in my own journey that this is something I am supposed to be doing, right? And so it's because Pluto, right? When we think about that, right? Excavates. It brings to light. And that's what Mystic Muse Vlog is all about. It's bringing to light. Yes, it's fun, it's whimsical, it's inviting you into my world and stuff like that, but it's also inviting you into Pluto's world, right? In Vedic astrology, I'm Scorpio, right? It brings to light. Pluto excavates. It asks us to be with the dark and to feel the discomfort and the uncomfortability and to really greet and meet the space with deep reflection and meditation too, right? Right, because Pluto retrograding is showing us what is lying within and also what lies, right? What lies within and also what lies, two words meaning two different things here. What lie do you have living within? What lies within? Right? So what lies within and what lie is within? Oh, okay, there we go. That's how we say it, right? So what lies within and what lie is within. I like that, right? Right. And so I don't know what I did with that. Um, wife of Seth and younger sister of Isis, goddess of the underworld and of death in general. Wow. I didn't know that. Because I don't know, right? I'm just reading from here, right? Wow. So this is perfect. Perfect. I love this. I love this. I love I love this. All right. Wife of Seth and younger sister of Isis, goddess of the underworld and of death in general. Her name means lady of the house, which indicates that she is the lady of the temple, with reference to her priestly function. She represents the access road to sanctuaries and the horizon. Nephti protects humans and their souls in the moment of passing away. Obstacles, losses, or painful events may arise unexpectedly and irreversibly. Learn that through reflection, everything can be fully transformed and developed. Your ability to continue to rise up depends only on your own conscious. I love that, right? So it's like no more like, especially with this rebuilding, right? Revising, realigning certain kind of things, right? Here we're revisiting what is ready to be transformed within us, right? So Pluto retrograde may find what we have labeled, right, as like old emotions, stories, or pain that resurfaces, depression, right? And while transformation is rarely ever easy, right? It is deeply nourishing. It's deeply needed. So this is the time where if we ever felt imprisoned within ourselves, Pluto's asking us, right, to find our freedom. Find our freedom. It is within these experiences where we have felt powerless, right? That Pluto invites empowerment at this time, right? So it's an energy management resolution, right? We're revisiting what is ready to be transformed. We are revisiting what is ready to be transformed. We are revisiting what is ready to be transformed, right? Hold on. I don't remember where I was. But it does remind me, right? I just, I did write something down before I came back in. It's just because you can endure it doesn't mean you should, right? That's kind of like where we were at, right? Just because you can endure it doesn't mean you should. And this processing, oh, that's where we were. Where did I put it? Right? Meditation, your ability to continue to rise upon depends only on your own conscious, right? So here you are, right? So it's like your invitation. Pluto retrogrades, right? Invites you to allow this cyclical journey, right? Of your becoming and unbecoming to be what it is, right? To be what it is. Not only um right, but not what conditioning has led you to become, right? So we're dancing really deep, right? Within the era of ever like redefining, right? Defining ever defining changes of Pluto, right? From Capricorn into Aquarius, right? So it's beyond our control, beyond our grasping, but it's a part of our surrender, right? To the so hold on. Sorry. Either way, where was I? I just feel like anything that has left you feeling powerless, right? Pluto's inviting you to empower, right? It's through the cracking open from within, right? The cracking open from within, right? Welcoming light into dark spaces, right? Right. So especially if there are old stories, wounds, or fears present, right? Right. This is an opportunity for you to really transform this part of yourself, giving yourself grace, right? How can you befriend this part of you, right? How can you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, right? And greet yourself on the other side of this wound, right? Wound healing, major wound healing, wound and womb. I hear, you know me, how I'm doing always that kind of stuff, right? So actually, let us heal, right? Let us activate, let us purify, let us recognize, right? The aspects of ourselves that are deep, wounded in our unconscious, subconscious levels. Let's extract them, let's excavate them, let's bring them up. Let whatever is a mystery reveal itself unto ourselves, right? Anything that we have disowned and cast into the shadows, right? All that lies underneath certain things, right? Bringing it out to witness parts of ourselves that we have disowned, right? Casting it into the shadows, right? All so that we may reach this leveling of acceptance, right? Of acceptance. Of acceptance, right? Reclaiming ourselves piece by piece. I reclaim, right? So it's like reclaiming. So we're healing aspects to our divinity, aspects to ourselves, right? Aspects to every part of ourselves. Here, definitely check out my vlog because there's a cute surprise, but still, either way, right? We're healing aspects of ourselves. Fun. Right. So we got some wound healing, womb healing, right? How can you create safety while you journey through this, with this, right? And crystal activations for you as well, right? Reclaiming yourself piece by piece, right? Right? To witness what has been keeping us chained, dimmed, powerless, fearful. To witness, to release, to heal, so that we can remember our freedom, power, and light, right? So allow this becoming and unbecoming of you to be that what it is. We're safe. I am safe, right? You're safe, safe, right? We're healing. We can heal the whole entire body, right? The masculine aspects of ourselves, right? We're healing the masculine aspects of ourselves in deep, powerful ways, right? Removing all chains to activate within us the alignment of willpower that is needed to execute, right? To move forward, to discard parts of us, ourselves that isn't easy, right? Right? The part of ourselves that need to surrender, right? Let us heal the divine feminine aspects of ourselves, right? Especially in the womb, right? You are the portal of life here, healing every single part of our yin energy, right? This retrograde invites us to be vulnerable while it peels back the layers to sit with ourselves, right? In this human experience, to witness ourselves, to reclaim that which we have disowned, to reclaim that which we cast into the shadows, to understand it better, to understand it better, to overstand it best. Digging deep within our inner caves, right? Healing our emotional bodies that are hidden from ourselves. Having closure, not waiting for closure, having it. Right? Forgiving mofos that may not deserve your forgiving, but you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. Meditating and giving yourself that sacred space of pause. Aligning you so greatly, vastly, so that you can move forward in every direction. In every direction. Definitely check out my Mystic Muse blog. I don't even see it fully yet, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff there that is going to be soul, mind, body, heart, and soul healing for even you. Right? So Pluto represents aspects of humanity, right? That for many people, it's just not, you taking it all? I want some too. Yeah, hold on, guys, hold on. I'm being called to read one of my old blog posts. I did this on one of the other videos, so watch all my videos. My blog is my baby, enchantingbabble.blogspot.com. You can go to the archives and you can see that there is loads of mana. I have been posting publicly since about 2009, 2010, and it's my baby. There's so much growth in mana over there. Writer before speaker was I. This has been part of my own evolutionary rise, right? And so I invite you to definitely follow and subscribe over there too. It's free, another free platform for you and I to connect on. But this one is called Tinkerbell's Oracle. It was written back on a Friday, March 11th, 2016. Again, the blog itself. So I just want you to understand that in this blog, everything is with pictures too. Okay. The same way kind of like my YouTube videos when I do edit and sorry. So it has pictures. Okay. Anyhow, so that's my blog, right? That's how it views from the phone. Tinkerbell Oracles, written back in 2016. I haven't reread it. I've shared it on my community board. You can definitely find the link in my community board, also on Instagram and all this kind of stuff. But at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS. But here on Enchantress the Babbler, here on YouTube, you can go to my community board and I share the direct link so you don't have to search it in the archives. But if you wanted to search, right? So here, whether you're on a desktop or whatever, you would look for blog archive, right? Over here, and then you would use these the arrow drop down and you can go here. You can see where it starts and you can go look from over the years all the different posts. Okay, there's a lot. But so Tinkerbell Oracle starts off with, I'm a little smart ass, fat and stout. Here's my finger, here is my mouth. When I get all worked up, I will shout, piss me off and I'll knock you out. Right? Tinkerbell Oracles are French. Right? Don't press the picture because it's going to open up. It's not punishment, for love never punishes. It may feel that way though. It's self-love and preservation nutrients more and more. I just want you to also note that when I write I write it E-Y-E. Okay? I feel love's avalanche of painful pruning. And I see why now, I guess, even just in the start of this, because it might be painful, this Pluto retrograding, right? A painful pruning, right, of such. Keep your door open, right? I feel love's avalanche of painful pruning. It's meant for the undoing of all that never was or belongs, only implanted and fed over time. Chaotic minds, stupefied, mystified by the uncoverings of third eye blinds, wandering eyes, filled with despise and disdain for the placking drilled into our brains. American dreams insane, freestyle rain. Hold on. I'm going to start this again. So for those of you that are not into poetry and things like that, I don't know what to tell you. Colorful, I am, and I make no apologies for the way that I speak. And that for most of the times when I do speak, I do rhyme. It's just natural. I feel like I have been, so this is too, like, you see, this is just something so minor, and well, is it look at Spirit's talking, right? Like, is it minor, or does it bother you, right? For so long, like, always having to be in defense mode of, like, being asked, why do I speak like that, why do I talk like that, why can't I just get to the point, or things. But yeah, it's just like what the fudge, right? That's not okay, right? So you're getting like this massive opportunity for wherever you have been chained, wherever you have been dimmed, wherever you felt powerless or fearful or made to feel anything less than, that you're roaring now, right? So yeah, so either way, this is poetry at its finest. Okay, I am a poetess. Okay, so it's not punishment, for love never punishes. It may feel that way though. It's self-love and preservation nutrients more and more. I feel love's avalanche of painful pruning. It's meant for the undoing of all that never was or belonged, only implanted and fed over time. Chaotic minds, stupefied, mystified by the uncoverings of third eye blind, wandering eyes filled with despise and disdain for the placking drilled into our brains. American dreams insane, freestyle reign, our souls gain an access into sublime records and keys. These entryways all suppressed within our eco-soul system, black hole void cast as a spell. I sees stories tell, imaginings cradled deep within our infrastructures. The walls must crumble down. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Have you figured out the rest of the story as to why no one else was able to piece together back Humpty Dumpty? Duh, because it's his own damn job to do. Self-empower himself with strength somehow. He must find his way somehow. And like any tower that collapses, piece by piece, in meditative receptivity, each piece is restored, rebirthed, recreated into a much more evolved piece of masterpiece, always in the making of art. Let's not forget the pieces of ourselves that make ourselves whole. This visual should help you to visualize in your mind's eye for yourself every piece of you broken apart that creates your whole. And if you are unable to see these pieces of yourself that make you everything you are at this moment in time, well, my dear, it is time for you to realign and scope inside. And like shattered glass, mirror to yourself. Why would you do that? Okay, I don't know where I was, but here it was, right? And like any tower that collapses piece by piece, and first of all, I want to also say, like, now that I'm reading this and I'm getting the reason why I feel called to read this, it's because of what it's representing, right? This is perfect for this Pluto in retrograding in Capricorn type of energy, right? Because it's like the piece by piece that you're putting back, right? Um, right? This death and rebirth, this transformation, this power, right? So it's the piecing together of all that you are, right? So let me just finish. And like any tower that collapses piece by piece in meditative receptivity, each piece is restored, rebirthed, recreated into a much more evolved piece of master piece, always in the making of art. Let's not forget the pieces of ourselves that make ourselves whole. This visual should help you to visualize in your mind's eye for yourself every piece of you broken apart that creates your whole. And if you are unable to see these pieces of yourself that make you everything you are at this moment in time, well, my dear, it is time for you to realign and scope inside. And like shattered glass, mirror to yourself every fragment piece that contributes to your mind, body, heart, and soul. Energetic infusion that currently walks this earth, sharing and spreading so many of your pieces everywhere you go. That's funny. I ate it, Tinkerbell. Wait, where is it? I ate it, Tinkerbell. Don't eat Tinkerbell. Awareness of pieces is essential. Never should they be made separate and viewed outside of oneself. No matter the given instant, we radiate whoever we energize to be at that moment, whether we are conscious of it or not. Truth hits the spot. I may write and express myself and share Enchanting Babble with the world, and for those who come and visit this place. But in essence, no matter our differences, I'm here learning, growing, and many times confused as funk about life and all its eccentricities. That I say, that I stay scratching my head for days, laughing aloud. When people differentiate between one another, stating we are all on different levels, most probably tend to view this visual on some kind of hierarchy tip. And because of this immediate conditioned and drilled into us from birth inception, many become sensitive in talks about levels, especially if one is told by another, you're not on my level. And I too am guilty of expressing the sentiment on probably more than one occasion, as well as really feeling it and meaning it too. Although my perception of this reality, once perceived by me, has now drastically changed, it doesn't take away from the meaning it had for me at the time when I first said it and meant it. No matter what level any of us are on, and this pertains to levels in everything: social status level, financial bracket levels, physical stature levels, spiritual levels, educational levels, oh my God, you name it. Our conditioned way has a label and a box and a level for it to be placed in. We label these findings as statistics. No matter the melody and beat of life experience anyone has, we each serve our own purpose. And I believe all in whom which we encounter in our current lifetime has a gift, token, insight, lesson, mirror to present us with. Whether we unveil it, uncovering for ourselves or not, in life we hit and we miss constantly. But the objective is to aim to hit your mark, whatever that mark is for you. And as we can see from our own life experiences, many of us aim to hit so many marks, trying to figure out our own true marks. Welcome to Tinker Hell. That's funny. I'm a funny person. But what's most important about this discovery is to enjoy and learn from it as much as you can, for it is every part of your own soul and earthly evolution, all depending on what level you yourself find yourself vibing on. Awareness of our energetic vibes 24/7 is essential. I must try to get some rest, although I am very much awake at this time. Thank you so much for this moment in time where you took precious time out of your life to meet me here inside of this most enchanting and secret place. If you're going to believe in anything, believe this sacredness to be true. Many souls have been quiet for way too long. And have you noticed how much more extra and energized and chirpy the birds have been? Even throughout this winter, even with all the fake ass snow we received, the birds have been singing a way different tune. Energy news. Open your eyes, for Mother Earth speaks. It's okay if you don't express these lands we inhabit to be called Mother Earth. It's okay if you don't relate to this expression I express. It's actually took me many years to even reference Earth as Mother Earth. It forced me to view more closely my own feelings about this planet Earth that appears to be real, laughing out loud, and my feelings towards it. In the spirit of all things, a matter of essence, no matter if I reference something as he or she, in the bigger scope of my brain so deep, I understand much more intimately the nature of energy as an empath, the feelings that manifest emerge in my expression, and conceptualize and understand many things to be. In my own conditioning and as well as for communication and all styles of writing purposes, the earthly language of words I have grown to know and have learned to use to express myself in a variety of ways. The writer and expressionist in me, living soul free to express myself as I please, openly and honestly, in whatever fashion that emerges along these pages, posts. Art is freaking dope. Dope-tastic. But seriously, I just get some sleep. I need to get some sleep. Graciously, I bid you adieu and thank you for your part in my own soul journey. Right? So definitely go check out Enchanting Babble over there, right? So getting back to Pluto's invitation for you to rebirth, right? Um, getting to know the parts of your shadow, darkness, and vulnerabilities a little bit more, removing this masquerade too, right? Right. So what I can't have forever, I will have for a minute. What I can't have for a minute, I will hold to me for 1 second. Visual seed. A man's face young in the flesh, an imposture, while a wide open shirt. Over him appears the most complicated and baroque hat, straight from a Venetian carnival. Under the guise of Cupid, I will come to you. Under the guise of a thief, I will fly away. Right? Going dark. There is often guilt in taking the mask of Don Juan or Donna Juana. The seducer is not a master of love, neither of manipulation. He is the master of ephemeral, of what is fleeting and brief and transient to the extreme. He is the master of the moment, and as such, he forgot all other kinds of eternity. There is guilt if you care because you are not building. There is guilt out of loss, you are not treasuring. There is guilt out of indifference because when you don't care, you cheat yourself of meaning and value. Sometimes there is guilt in the selflessness and the desire itself and everything leading to pleasure, as if the only pleasure that can be sacred are only those labeled as such. The masquerade is a dance. It is the road that goes in circles and ebbs and flows and always ends with the first light. Before the time comes, hold it tightly. When the time comes, let it go. Right? So this masquerade of living. So, oh my goodness, definitely go check out my blog at Mystic Muse Vlog. It's the catalyst for change. I do know that title at least, right? Something like that, right? But it may be vlog 3 or 4. No, it might be 4 or 5. Either way, definitely check that out because it's the removal of these things, right? These masquerades. It's like keeping up with the Joneses, right? It's like faking it until you make it. Like, at what cost? You know what I mean? So at what cost? At what cost? Hold on. Right? So blinded to the pain in a masquerade type of thing. So it's just like acting like a certain kind of thing. But you know what I've realized too? Like a lot of people hoard information because then they feel like if they share information, they're powerless. But that's a lie, right? It's just like sharing a recipe. I can give you the same recipe, and this is tried and true and tested, right? I can give you the same recipe as me. It's still not going to taste the same. It's still not, like whatever the case may be, right? So I just feel like there's certain levelings of conditioning that is deceitful to one's own upkeeping and stuff like that. And so, right, so with this collage of photos, right, we were talking about in the beginning, right, allow this humanness part of you to be messy, right, because it needs it for this time. It needs to be messy in order to be aligned, in order to be put together, in order to for the abstract to become seen, right? Right. So we're taking these steps back, picking apart the pieces, right? Making a huge fucking maps and then putting it all back together in a way that is empowering to ourselves, in a way that's aligned for ourselves, in a way that's real for ourselves, in a way that's freeing for ourselves, right? And so it's all about making this forward movement, right? So Pluto and Capricorn transforms the containers of our own, even in so it's as within exudes on, it's transforming all these things, all these parts of our own vessel, our energy and stuff like that. And that also shows itself because in the sign of Capricorn, right? So where else do you think your position, your status in the world, your professionalism, right? How you exercise your power within on out, right? So Pluto is associated with power, right? And it's through these thresholds of these experiences that we experience these levelings of transformation and change, right? So the industry that you find yourself in, right? Because this is Capricornian energy. This is about stability. This is about longevity. This is about your legacy wealth, right? So even this might change, right? Oh my goodness. And I was talking about, so right, so like, yeah, so you might be adding more to your palette, right? So it's like a flip. Like for me, I have this as an experience, right? Even though I'm all into the healing modalities of life now, right? Like I teach yoga, I do body work, I do this and that, coaching, and all this kind of stuff, and which has always been a part of my life. But for the first like when I was raising my daughter and stuff like that, for that, I was in the fashion industry, totally different career sector of living, right? Totally different lifestyle, totally different type of energy dealing with and all this kind of stuff. And so this transition, so but now I had somewhere in that, in my experience, this profound, I know where it happened. I'll talk about it more on my blog at Mystic Muse blog, of what made me transition and fully transform my whole life, right? From one thing to another without really seeing what that other thing was fully, and having no plan. Just feeling it out and doing and trying to make it a success, and finding success in my own laws of manifestation, but not seeing it as that yet, because it still was some struggle in there and all this kind of stuff, while we're trying to make sense of a lot of things, right? So we're trying to make sense of a lot of things. So right, so anyway, so this is a powerful time, a major profound transition, especially in the industry that you find yourself in, right? So it's like shape shifting, so you're shape shifting right alongside this transformation. So it's like this oh, it's like this. I definitely go check out my blog. I'm gonna keep saying that, right? Because right, I'm gonna keep saying that because, so it's like this. I'm gonna show it to you because I have it in, definitely go check out my blog. But the shape thing would, I see it in my mind, but let me see if I can find it. Right. Thing. That budges it. Hold on. Um, so I just want you to see the morphing. Well, if you can see in the imagery of that, it's the face keeps changing, the body keeps morphing into something else, something more. So it's kind of like that. So it's like this is happening while, right, because this is all happening, right? You're shape shifting right alongside. Ooh, that's right. Shape shifting right alongside this Pluto transformation, Pluto retrograde transformation, right? So it's giving you this opportunity, right? Right? Because what is Capricorn? The sea goat, right? The sea goat, not seagull, sea goat, right? And it's giving us the opportunity to close chapters, right? Before the universe thrusting you into the future, bringing forth, right? These sense of this self-empowerment, love, right? And accountability for the ways of life that need to change for you. It's being accountable, responsible, productive, solution filled, right? Having a solution mindset, right? Right. You're not looking towards the past to live there, right? You're looking towards the past for it to play its important role in your helping you to understand, right, how your future now can be improved upon, right? So you want to reflect on certain kind of things, not to get so caught up in the emotion of the drama or the issue, right, that may have been from that time, right? But if you start to notice the pattern, right, that contributes to the stress, the anxiety, the tension, the discomfort, the depression, the oppression, the upset, right? um this is the ideal time. It's an ideal time to finally address these kind of issues so that you can overcome them, right? It's about overcoming them, right? Don't run away from it, right? Face the conflict, face the challenge, face the uncomfortable feeling, right? Embrace it with a positive mindset, a positive shift, right? Because it's your revolutionary solution, right? Especially, right? This is leading you to understanding deeper parts of yourself, deeper on like a wholeness kind of level that is moving you in a totally new direction. And when anything is moved into a new direction, depending on how resistant you are to the change, right? It could be a fixed sign, just resistant to change, right? Have a lot of fixed signs in your chart. Definitely check that out. If you have a lot of fixed signs in your chart, have compassion towards your condition, right? Because it might be a lot more challenging for you to move forward, to thrust forward, to change, to release, to let go, right, as opposed to other mutable signs in the in the zodiacs, right? So it's like right, so these, right, there's a thing, right? I spoke about it in a previous video when I was talking about the T-square, right, with the nodes of fate that is going to be happening like in July and stuff like that. The pressure will be on, right? So whatever culmination of that which you are working on now up until this point, right, of this T-square of the nodes of fate, right, it might discourage you a little bit, right, in certain aspects, areas that you might have challenge or struggle with, right? But stand firm in your own beliefs and dispositions, right? Acknowledging that the universe got your back, right? And that it often tests you too, right? As a way, it feels like that. It's not that it's doing that, it's just that's just the way that it is, right? But that's a way for us to express it and convey it, for you to understand it, interpret it, process it, interpret, right? So perceive, right? But it's really just to strengthen your resolve, right? How do you strengthen that which you have learned? You got to put it into practice in some kind of way, right? So a pressure cooker tea, right? The pressure, right? So part of this too, depending on where you are, is pressuring others to be where you are and letting people be too where they are respectfully, right? Don't pressure others into seeing things as you do. Fuck that. Don't be like that, right? Remember that you can only control your own thoughts and action, right? So there will be twists and turns, right? With Pluto, I definitely go check out my other Pluto video. Um, I always share it in the community board as well when I post this one, so that way, let me see, let me write that. Post Pluto in Aquarius video. I'll link it too, and stuff like that. We're gonna start hurrying up as well because I have to go. So I want to read this one as well. Enlightening, right? So one, Ra, right? And think about the position of one. Right? So first, right, the sun god, Ra, he who rises up, climbing high in the sky. Life and prosperity come from the sun and its heat. Its symbol is the eye. Hold on. Right? So life and prosperity come from the sun and its heat. Its symbol is the eye of Ra. Over there, please. Also associated with the meaning of the third eye. The energy of Ra is vital, the source of creative growth. This deity instills clarity and transparency. There is nothing to fear under the influence of Ra. He helps you to heal wounds and restore lost harmony. But with action, this is fucking perfect. You saw it all happen here. Right? With action, above all, he advises you to abandon the subterfuges of the moon and to act boldly and in the full light of day. Right? To act boldly in the full light of day. I love that, right? I love that. Right? So this last little here. Let's see who's here. If your name, number, sign is not called, don't worry about it. This is just some added fun for those that are tapped in, turned on. You can be a Gemini, Aquarius, right? But this is also Pluto or an Aquarius. You could have been born in 1973, 1972, right? You could be 50 years old, 51 years old, 30 years old, 31 years old, 35 years old, 36. You could be an Aries, Pisces. I said Aquarius, Cancer, right? You could be 37, 31, 32, 34, 36, 33. You could be 23 years old. You could have been born 1977, 1971, 1993, 1991. These years could be significant to you. It doesn't have to be. You understand that? You could be born 1977. You could be 47 years old. You could be 63 years old. You could be born 1973, 1978. You could be born 1947. Okay. You could be born in 2003, 2001, 2000, right? Okay. You could be life path number 3, life path number 4, life path number 8. You could have been born 1985, 1984, 1954. You could be 45, 48, I said. You could be in a Capricorn. You could have Sagittarius in your chart. You could have Leo, right? Could have been born 1966, 1968, 1967. Could be 31, 35, 55, 53, 43. Could be 36, 32, 34. Could have been born 1999. I said that already. 2000. Yeah, 2000, 2008. Could be 31, 22, 26. Right? Else, right? It could be 51. All right, we got angel numbers 414. I'm almost done. 219, right? 257, 333, 332, 665, 746. You could be 60 years old. You could be 70 years old, right? You could be 80 years old. Okay. Oh, yay. Okay. Could be 61. Been born 1995. Right. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. So anyways, I have to start wrapping this up, guys. Right. And we'll talk more about this. Like, I love that this is happening. It could be life path number 8 because I'm looking at it over here, right? Oh, come on. Hold on, please. I am. Okay. For real. So, all right. So there's going to be lots of twists and turns, right? Lots of twists and turns and upheavals, right? That's with Pluto's awakening. I just feel like, right? So, but it's also a moment of hope and illumination, and you can giggle, you can laugh about any kind of frustrations or hiccups or things like that that happen and stuff like that, right? Because Capricorn is closing up to Capricorn sun is closing up to Pluto, right? And just before the planet of death and rebirth enters back into Aquarius one more time, right? You've had all this time to really be clearer, right? Because I said it means to spin. To be clearer, like, you know, Aquarius is definitely watch my Pluto in Aquarius video. I don't want to get into it like that because I'm trying to wrap up that which I'm saying now and stuff like that, and it's just a little bit distracted at this moment in time, right? But it's just like it's like being much more clear that with wants to be cared for. Oh my goodness, too much. I cannot, right? So just like, please. Please take me. Definitely check out my blog. You'll understand more of this laughter and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. Mystic Muse blog, or subscribe to my Instagram at Enchantress, ENCHANT or ESS, for just 99 cents, and you can get the behind the scenes inside scoop to many kind of things that I share lovingly, exclusively with my subscribers first before making anything public too, right? So if anything, so there's a lot, right? So what was I saying? So this death and rebirth, you've been asked to make many kind of sacrifices, right? That's what comes with this purge, with this rebirth, right? Especially within these last 7 months, right? The cosmic union, right? It's going to allow you to see these difficult decisions, and it's going to be worth it for you, right? It's going to feel worth it in the end, right? If you've been second guessing any of your movements because you've been doing like the cha-cha back and forth, right? Through this journey, it'll be easier to trust in your path that leads forward. As you continue to understand that what you're exactly needing to do and be, and who you are needing to be at these times that align with you alchemically and stuff like that, right? Because since Pluto is like the furthest reaching planet in our solar system, it affects our felt most strongly when it's aspecting other planets as well, right? So that's what's always happening. Everything's always happening simultaneously anyways, right? So these celestial connections that are happening, we're all impacting one another. So let us be mindful on that in our journey as well, right? And it's allowing our own unique stories to play out, right? So what unique story of yours is playing? Oh, I like that. Right? So Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn. Stop looking at me like that. I'm not done, okay? Okay, I'm almost done. I feel the pulse, like whatever. But here, Pluto in Capricorn. What was I saying? You see, you made me forget what I was saying, right? Oh yeah. What unique stories of yours are desiring or are playing out, right? Are to play out. Playing out. I don't know. Anyways, I'm playing around with that sentence. I feel a lot of pressure right now. So, right. So there's just a lot of awesomeness that can happen, a lot of greatness from you to be explored and further understood, overstood, right? So what unique stories of yours, right? So this Pluto in Capricorn is bringing your unique stories out into the open. Oh, out. Right? Shh. Okay, I'm trying to hurry up here because I really have to go. Right? So it's retracing, right? So right now, Pluto retrograding is retracing, right? It steps through Capricorn. And what you do to make the most out of these vibes is going to be your own unique story at this time, right? So your time management skills are important at this time, right? It's being put under a cosmic microscope, right? Focus, right? A cosmic microscope, right? As Pluto's backsliding into Capricorn, right? Insisting that you bring more structure into your life, right? This makes so much fucking sense. Check out my blog, Mystic Muse blog, right? So you're going to begin to take your goals and priorities a lot more seriously, which you should, as you should, right? Which could cause you to become more disenchanted with certain kind of activities, patterns, and relationships that don't contribute to your bottom line, period, right? So avoid temptations, right? Right, that will cause you to act, because you go to the Venus and Leo video, right, when I'm talking about frivolous, right, where you can be a little bit more flamboyant in certain kind of areas and aspects that maybe you need to set more boundaries in, right, with yourself and others, as you should be more mindful to curb flighty behaviors, extravagant spending, things like that, right, and giving and having you move towards a more buttoned up kind of experience, right? So right, so yeah, so yeah, so that, right, so focus, right, all right, we're going to end it with some fairy messages at this time. For those of you tapped in, turned on, tuned in with I, thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in with me. I hope that you enjoyed these messages for this Pluto and Capricorn reading. Yeah, and I hope that it was helpful for you on your own evolutionary journey. Make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe. Let me know how what other kind of videos too that you want to see. Let me know if you subscribe to my new YouTube, my second YouTube channel at Mystic Muse Blog. Let me know if you follow me on Instagram at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS. Let me know if you're on TikTok too, because I am Alchemistic Poetess on TikTok as well, right? So here we go. Let's do a pick card for this right now. All right. So you're going to just pick a card for your own message. You can take all the messages in if you want to, of course, because if you, especially if you tapped in, turned on, tuned in with me, and you watched it from beginning to end, then definitely you can receive all these messages here as well. But if you want to just choose one, just so that you can meditate upon that and let it be that which it will be for you, then definitely just choose one at this moment in time. This is just a little bit of fun to add towards the end, right? So here we go. Right. So we got 3, right? Right. Which one do you choose? Right? Okay, which one are you gonna choose? I know so many to choose from. I get a little bit crazy with myself as well, right? I'm gonna go with this one, right? Right now, okay? All right, so if you choose this one, stargazing, okay? Stargazing. When you gaze at the stars, right? So when you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. Okay. Stargazing. So when I was young, right? When I was young, I grew up in a very strict household and stuff like that, right? But I used to sneak out to the front of the house, and I also used to sneak out on the roof. So I've fallen asleep on the roof so many times. Honestly, it was in hopes of being abducted by aliens. That I would wake up and be on another planet and stuff like that. But stargazing is amazing. So also another time that was really profound for me, my first like real stargazing experience from out of the slumps of Brooklyn and stuff like that. I went away with my school, and we went on this like camping kind of thing or whatever, and we were out there like upstate New York and things like that, where the sky was like its most clearest that I've ever seen. And I had seen for the first time even then like shooting stars and all this kind of stuff. So it's just like cloud gazing, sun gazing, stargazing, water gazing, fire gazing, whatever kind of gazing you do, it puts you into this trance like evolution that is powerful for you. Keep a notebook and pen handy on the side, because best believe that your intuition is going to speak to you because you are divine, you know what I mean, at that kind of time. So if you chose this one over here, right, tree wisdom, right, tree gazing, tree hugging, right, go hug a tree, right? I post a lot of pictures of me hugging the tree. And I'm not a bug person, but I'll still hug a tree, right? I'll climb a tree, right? I always have shorts underneath my dress if I have a dress on too. This tree dryad will help you navigate through your current situation. Her flute can reveal insights and answers to the sounds it makes. Maybe you play an instrument too. That's beautiful, right? I used to play the piano. I wish I was much more proficient in the piano, and I wish I was consistent with it and I had stayed playing it and stuff like that. But I love the violin, and there's a lot of other instruments that I love. I actually have a flute too that I was going to be practicing, but it was more for practicing the breath, and I just wanted to channel and tune in and stuff like that too. So maybe you have a flute, maybe you have other instruments too that you play with, like singing bowls or things like that. I have I don't know the names of them, but I like drumming and things like that. And I have a lot of different instruments that I like to use, and maybe you do too. And that's another way of divining, you know what I mean? Even doing it outside in nature, whatever the case may be. So you chose that with me, right? Solitude. Oh, tell me about it, right? Maybe you have strong Virgo in your chart. I do, right? Um, so think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet time. And I love that, right? Always be your greatest company. I am my own greatest company. And even in my own company, I'm never alone, right? Solitude. So either way, thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Till next time.